In 2008, one man erased $65 billion, not with violence, not with weapons, but with trust. For decades, investors believed their money was safe, stable, growing. And then, almost overnight, it was gone. His name was Bernie Madoff, and this was the largest financial fraud in modern history. Madoff wasn't a criminal in the shadows. He was Wall Street royalty, former chairman of NASDAQ, trusted by banks, celebrities, charities. Behind the polished offices and calm reputation, there was no sophisticated strategy, no secret algorithm, no market genius. There was only one thing: new money. When investor A wanted returns, their profits were paid using money from investor B. When investor B wanted withdrawals, they were paid using money from investor C. And as long as new investors kept arriving, the machine kept running. It looked legitimate because statements showed profits, graphs showed steady growth, reports looked professional, but none of it reflected real trades. It was a classic Ponzi scheme, one of the oldest tricks in financial history. The global financial crisis. Markets crashed. Fear spread. Investors needed liquidity. They wanted their money back. Billions of dollars were suddenly requested. But there was a problem. There was no money. The accounts were fiction. The profits were imaginary. The stability was an illusion. Under pressure, the structure collapsed. After decades of deception, the truth surfaced in the worst possible moment. In December 2008, Bernie Madoff confessed to his sons. Soon after, he was arrested. The scale of the fraud shocked the world. $65 billion, thousands of victims, retirement funds destroyed, charities shut down, families financially ruined. In court, there was no dramatic denial, no complex defense, only a quiet admission of guilt. In 2009, Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison, a symbolic number, a punishment designed to reflect the magnitude of betrayal. Many of Madoff's victims were not reckless investors. They were retirees, school teachers, small business owners. Some had entrusted him with their entire life savings. One charity lost hundreds of millions of dollars. It had to shut down. Families that once felt financially secure were suddenly facing uncertainty. For some, the loss was more than money. It was dignity. It was trust. It was years of work erased. For years, a few analysts had warned that something wasn't right. The returns were too consistent, too stable. One independent investigator repeatedly tried to alert regulators. He sent reports. He provided calculations. But the system failed to act. Sometimes fraud survives not because it is invisible, but because no one wants to believe it. Why did so many intelligent people trust him? Because Madoff understood something powerful. People trust familiarity. They trust reputation. They trust confidence. And once trust is established, questions disappear. But the story of Bernie Madoff isn't just about numbers. It's about belief. People didn't invest because they were careless. They invested because they trusted him. He didn't steal with force. He stole with credibility. The biggest fraud in modern history didn't survive because it was brilliant. It survived because it felt safe. On Wall Street, trust can be more powerful than money, and sometimes more dangerous.